Hello everybody, and welcome to American Jordies. This video is gonna be so stupid. It's already feeling stupid. I procrastinated all day on it. Um, Here, actually, prepared a script. This is another video with the script in front of me, mainly because by the end of this experience, I'm expecting to have trouble speaking. Also, there's an important disclaimer here. Do not try this. Do not repeat these actions. I'm doing this aware of the damage this will do to myself. If you know anyone who does vinegar shots, you should intervene and seek help. It is indicative of an eating disorder. I was originally going to do this challenge with a drink of choice and made the switch, deciding that it wouldn't be right to seek enjoyment from the situation. So here's the video concept: one vinegar shot for every act of violence committed by ICE just this month. Vinegar is very acidic and can, in fact, eat you back. I'm going to chase each vinegar shot with a shot of oat milk to prevent esophageal scarring. I already have esophageal scarring from unrelated health conditions from my childhood, and I'm aware this challenge may fuck me up for a few days, but that's nothing compared to being killed by ice. So I have apple cider vinegar. Hopefully that is slightly less terrible than just white vinegar, and I have extra creamy oat milk because I want to chase it with something, preferably something with proteins, so that it doesn't just eat my stomach lining. And I have half of a cheesy bagel here, so that just in case I can nom that down and see if we can keep going. I may give up partway through this video. Our first shot is going to be for Keith Porter. Let me see if I can get that for you. Keith Porter was killed by ICE technically this month, but on New Year's Eve. I've heard some reports saying January 3rd, so I don't know how true that is. The argument was that he had a weapon that he fired into the air in celebration of the holiday. This is a crime that warrants a citation or a fine, but ICE took it upon themselves to issue the death sentence. If you've ever done vinegar shots, you know how much this is going to suck. Let's shot number one down. Just like actual alcohol, it takes a good second for you to feel it. Okay. Nothing to it but to do it, right? Shot number two. Renee Nicole Good. Renee Good was killed by ICE on January 7th while making a three-point turn to leave a situation. Some say she was a legal observer who had the right to be there. Her ex-husband said she wasn't even there for that she was just on her way up to pick her son, that she was just on her way to pick up her son from school when she encountered ICE. Her last words were, "I'm not mad." She had a legal right to flee either way, and ICE chose to take justice into their own hands and take that right away from her. My mouth is burning. There's an old saying for when someone has anger running through their blood and they use that anger to take action. And that saying is that you would say that they have vinegar in their veins, or vinegar in their blood, or you know the saying. Whew. Shot number 3 is Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy was a 37-year-old intensive care nurse for the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. It was his job to take care of military vets. He was killed January 24th. Preddy was filming ICE agents and was jumped for defending a woman who was pushed to the ground by ICE officers. ICE claimed self-defense since Preddy had a weapon on him. They shot him no less than 10 times after they had already pinned him to the ground and removed his firearm, which was holstered and not in his hand, unlike the claims made by our government. The contrast between the video and the official story is clear as day in the case of Alex Preddy. They say he shouldn't have had the same Second Amendment rights that members of the right have always enjoyed, and especially not at a protest, even though the Second Amendment exists so that people can oppose tyranny. Saying that in Preddy's case would be twisting words, though, since he never put his hand on his gun to fight ICE. He used his hand to hold his phone and record ICE and to protect those around him in the moments before his death. ICE made the on-site decision that Preddy wasn't protected by the rights of the Second Amendment and put him to death for it. I need a second. Oh yeah, I took 2, that was 3, I need to do 3. Everyone I told this idea to this week told me I was a fucking idiot. Alright. I think I might switch to half shots after this one. That's not as bad. Oh shit, fuck, I lied. I feel cold. This one's gonna be a half shot. No, it fucking ain't no baby. 3/4. What if the audio is terrible? What if the audio is unusable? What if this footage is unusable? Oh, this is gonna fucking suck. Gerardo Lunis Campos. Gerardo Lunis Campos was found dead January 3rd. He was a Cuban migrant that ICE claimed succumbed to medical distress leading up to his final moments while in ICE custody. A medical examiner has ruled his death a homicide. The 55-year-old's body showed signs of a struggle, with the autopsy report noting abrasions on his chest and knees and hemorrhages on his neck, AP reported. He died of asphyxia caused by compression of the neck and torso. ICE doubled down and said that he was violently resisting staff when they intervened to prevent him committing suicide, but an eyewitness saw that Geraldo was handcuffed and restrained by ICE. One officer wrapping his arm around Geraldo's neck and holding it until he became unresponsive. I don't know how many shots of vinegar a body can take. I probably should have Googled that before I did this. We're past the halfway point. Past the halfway point. One second. Shot number 5. Liam Ramos. Liam Ramos was kidnapped by ICE January 20th along with his father. ICE claims they brought him home to his driveway to reunite him with his mother, but that his mother refused custody of him. What actually happened was that his mother was warned that ICE would use her son to lure her out of her house, and so she refused to voluntarily open the door or let them inside. She had another teenage son and was pregnant. She reasoned it wasn't worth the risk that they might be trying to lure her out. Many other services, including the school he attended, attempted to take in the child in her stead, but ICE refused to give him up and took him to the detention facility with his father. His father was a legal resident in the process of the immigration, without a history of crime at all on his record. Obviously, they took away his right to due process and kidnapped the child against the best efforts of his community and brought him to a facility where his safety couldn't be guaranteed. I will get into that later. 0 calories per serving. Shot 6. David Corvell. I don't have a picture of this guy, nor do I want one. David Corvell is an ex-ICE officer, and his actions went on a long time before this month, but on January 2nd, he pleaded guilty to the sexual assault of a woman in his custody. I didn't find her name, and I think her anonymity should probably be respected. David would have his buddy's postcard so that no one would catch him in the act of raping this woman. He coerced the victim into sex in exchange for gifts, including food and photos of her daughter. He was released on a $10,000 bond with trial dates set for April, and he is looking down the possibility of a 15-year prison sentence and a $250,000 fine. Don't repeat this challenge. Don't. This is going to be the final shot. Shot number 7. Honorable mentions. Eber Sanchez Dominguez. Suicide in ICE custody, January 14th. These are all included because they weren't directly violence committed by ICE, but atrocities that happened under their watch. Victor Manuel Diaz. Body reported missing and autopsy reports delayed. Cause of death unknown. Parody Law. Died January 6 to drug withdrawal while in ICE custody. Luis Beltran Yanez Cruz. Died January 9th due to illness contracted in an ICE containment facility. Luis Gustavo Nunez Caceres. Died January 15th. Died January 5th to a heart condition that appeared while in ICE custody. Official statement was that their medical care for these immigrants is probably, quote, the best they ever received in their entire lives. I'm a fucking idiot. There's a non-zero chance YouTube doesn't even let me list this video due to the self-harm. It's the last one. It's the last one. It's the last one. My mom's gonna hate me for this because she watches these videos. My ear just cleared. So yeah, this is all just this past month. My throat will not recover for a few days, but for these people, their entire lives are changed. Admittedly, this video is performative, but I'm frustrated. Not just frustrated that this is happening in the United States, not just frustrated that this was all just this month, but frustrated that I'm so far removed from it. I live in nowhere, Ohio. I don't have the privilege of taking time away from my job to go to Minneapolis. I couldn't afford to be there anyway if I did. Um, on one of my very few days off recently, I went and tried to find ice activity in my area so I could do my share to record and report. But there's so much nothing going on here, and I didn't find anything. That should be terrifying. That people here are complacent while Minnesota is fighting so hard to protect themselves. So many of us don't have the privilege of joining the movements. We barely have the privilege to enjoy our free time. We can be told that nothing is wrong, and we look outside and it seems like nothing is wrong. But something is very wrong. It just hasn't reached us yet. I don't feel I don't feel comfortable continuing my normal life, but I don't have a choice. I've got too much to live for and that I plan to do to take risks this early in my journey. So this is my solidarity action. Thank you so much for watching and stay a fan. I'm sorry that the most I could do is something this performative and self-damaging. I tried. I looked at flights to Minnesota and I looked at how much time I can take off, and the answer is I can't. I looked up and down the major cities in our area and I didn't see anything within my days off that I actually had the opportunity to do that. But I want to be there so bad. Thank you guys so much for watching and stay a fan.